reporter, Lieutenant Colonel Darryl Glenn, joins us now. Colonel Glenn, this new report about the risk levels, you know, we listened to this hearing today, and it's astonishing the lack of information or wherewithal within this administration to take this sort of safeguards. Regardless of the Hillary Clinton situation, it feels like it's systemic, and still we're at risk.
Absolutely, and I hope we understand we're watching the evolution of a new lower standard. We're calling it the Clinton standard. And I hope we also remain focused on the fact that the secrets and the potential impact of our national security and the men and women that protect us.
So, but I'm still grappling with this because, of course, what we heard from James Comey on Tuesday is that Hillary Clinton traveled to foreign countries where there were, quote, bad actors who, you know, we have to reasonably assume that they had access to her information, which means they also have access to agents in the field, sensitive information that keeps our country safe or supposed to keep us safe, and yet it persists.
Absolutely, and that's why I think it's extremely important to really continue this hearing and ask those tough questions. But I want to make sure that the American people realize that we have a new lower Clinton standard. And how does that translate into our national security and the men and women that are potentially at risk?
Well, how does it translate? I mean, what's the difference now than, say, in a prior administration? Does it mean it makes us... What degree of how much does this mitigate our efforts to keep Americans safe and to keep our personnel safe?
Well, it all goes back to our rules of engagement. We already have an administration that has failed to identify the enemy, failed to identify radical Islamic terrorism, and now the fact that they potentially have actionable intelligence about our agents that are out there in the field, our men and women that are there to protect our freedoms. That's extremely troubling, and I hope we don't lose sight of that.
Colonel Glenn, I want to ask you, in the last 24 hours, you know, there's a lot of scuttlebutt about Donald Trump and his VP pick, and there was some talk yesterday, perhaps he may choose someone from the military ranks or someone who has that sort of experience. What are your thoughts on that, considering the issue of terrorism, foreign policy, and the fact that we're losing a war against radical Islam and people are becoming unnerved by it?
Well, it's true, because national security links to so many different areas. Again, we need to make sure that we identify the enemy. But if we're not safe, if people aren't feeling safe at home, it does have a devastating impact on the economy. And when you're looking at our debt, that's extremely troubling because that's also a national security issue. $19 trillion and growing, a growing military threat, but yet we're reducing the size of our military, our ability to be able to respond to that. So I can see there is a linkage between national security and our overall policy when it comes to economic prosperity.
Colonel Glenn, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.